Look at that. Steel. Yeah, I love that stuff. Oh, by the way, I have one of those welding projects for you guys again. This time we'll be building something else. But yeah, I haven't really finished the last one yet. It's still gonna work in progress. I'm almost finished though. Wrap it up today. Hopefully that will work. But no, I'm gonna wrap that up quickly and then let's proceed with that project. Well, I guess we know how that went. If you didn't, then I will leave a... Actually, scratch that. If you didn't, then you're the lucky ones. It turns out that this thing truly turned out to be a placeholder. But let's move on to the topic of this video. What type of catastrophe awaits us ahead? Crowded here. But yeah, that thing, that dinghy. So I'm hoping to make like a roller, something that will roll behind the tractor, or maybe I could even transport it with the Bobcat, and it will be like a static vibrator. What? That is not correct. Wait a minute. Static compactor. Yeah, that's the one. So it's about perfect width, you know, for my tractor, because the wheelbase is almost as wide as this barrel is, and it used to be like a air tank at this really big plywood plant, and they never really used it. It's just kind of sat there for years. So I was able to acquire this for basically like scrap value. I think I paid maybe like 25 euros for this barrel. I assume that's a very good bargain. Although I'm not really sure if there's any issues with it. Maybe there's like a hole somewhere, or I mean, visually looks pretty good. So you could possibly hook it up to an air system, because it is an air tank. But dude, it's like 550 liters, this thing. But you know, the thing is that I probably never will need this capacity. This is just too much for me. I hardly even use air tools. I mostly just need pressured air from time to time. But you know, I prefer battery operated tools. Those are a lot quieter. You don't need to start up the compressor for them, and I just generally prefer them a lot more. Now, when I got this thing, then I figured I'm gonna put it in my workshop. But honestly, I don't think that's a good idea. It's just too big. Too big. Yeah, and after doing some math, I figured that once you fill this thing with concrete, it's gonna weigh about 1200 kilos. Maybe, actually, with the steel frame that I need to build for it, it's probably looking around 1500. 1.5 tons total. So maybe that's a pretty good compacting weight, you know. My main goal with that would be just you know, this like forest pathways or something that I do, these narrow pathways, just kind of drive back and forth many times, and the roller will just kind of roll behind. I do have a couple of other boxes here as well, but these things are like, they're not round. This thing is literally a egg shape. That's probably not gonna work. And you know, this thing is a 3-ton capacity, so if you fill this thing up with concrete, dude, it's gonna probably weigh like 10 tons. I can't even pull it behind my tractor unless I use Joseph or something like that, and that's a 2-ton capacity, so still too much. Maybe I will have some other uses for these two in the future. That one used to be a fuel tank. That's a water tank. But I'm gonna go grab Mr. Bobcat. Let's try to get this thing into the workshop and see how we can start off this build. Hopefully it's gonna be less of a disaster than the last build. Oh, that was a hint. So sorry. And who needs that wonderful sun anyway? $1.6 meters. Fancy that. This tractor is actually perfect for that roller. The roller is gonna be slightly wider than the tractor. So actually the plan of attack is pretty simple. I think let's just put something down on paper and then let's get to work. Make it in half. Maybe we'll mess up something. Then we got that let's call it a donut in the center there. I think the first thing we need to do is install a shaft, which will go through that thing, all the way through that thing. And that's why I bought that 60mm rod. Hopefully it's strong enough, man. It has to be, right? 60mm, that's quite a bit. Anyway, beyond this, it's pretty simple. I just need to build like bushing to this spot, pushing on the other side as well. Can't forget about that. Then there will be the main support piece on either side. I'm gonna use a 100 by 100 by 8. So that will be the box tube with a wall thickness of 8mm. That should be plenty. The bushing will be a pipe. Outside size is 75. Inside size is 60 exactly. So it's gonna be a perfect match for that shaft. I'm not really sure how that's gonna work out. The guy did not have a slightly bigger pipe. So maybe it's fine. But anyway, next up, the frame part will basically continue. Let's imagine the tractor will be that way. So the tractor goes brrr somewhere there, and from here, actually gonna make that a bit longer, we'll have a frame piece that will go this way in front of the roller. And I'm not really sure if that's necessary, but I think I'm gonna put one at the back of the roller as well. So the roller will basically be boxed in on all sides. And from here we're gonna have like a piece that goes there. Stupid tractor in the way now. A bit longer there, or to that point. Then we have the other side also there, and I think we need a centerpiece as well. And the tractor hook up will be there. So ignore the tractor part, that's just kind of got in the way at the moment, but basically I think that's it. We got the roller in the middle, shaft in the center, bunch of box tubes everywhere, and also a buttload of weld. And once everything is nicely rolled together, then just fill the thing up with concrete. Yeah, let's get to work. put some millimeters here as well, so I can build it according to the plans. Let's start off with the shaft, and I'm gonna remove these parts later. They're not in my way at the moment. Plus, it doesn't roll all over the place. It's a bit better to work on. This is 72. Actually, I need the hole to be 75. Hey, wait a minute. No. 60. Yeah, I need it to be 60. Look at that, guys. What? 62. So technically, if I remove this nut, there's another nut on the other side. I should be able to put the shaft through it, right? If it's 62 and the shaft is 60. Dude, nobody's that lucky. What is this side? 62. Okay. Maybe I'm lucky. And some of you might say that, hey, you're just, wasting a perfectly fine air tank. But dude, like I said, I don't think I will ever have use for it, and I don't really want to sell it. So rather make something that's gonna be useful to me. Otherwise it's just gonna sit around outside, rust away. Like it's rusting inside there. It's not gonna fit. Missing a couple of millimeters there. It sucks. Oh man, it's very crusty in there. There's a lot of rust in here. Yeah. 67. How I'm gonna make it 60? I mean, I don't really need that a lot. Like 3 millimeters wider. Aga äkki siia saab panna selle 61 augupuuri. You guys know that I love hole saws. Do you think this is doable? Because the hole saw will go in there. There's like even a way for it. It's not gonna dance away somewhere. It's actually should stay in there nicely. I mean, we should try at least, right? If I can get this hole 60, then I don't really have to cut this open and then like make a new plate for it, or I could keep this because that weld is probably pretty decent. Obviously I need to add some type of extra support here later, but if I could nicely hole saw that bit away, then I think it's worth it to at least try. I need some ear protection, dude. Fancy that. 59.9, basically 60. I'm afraid that maybe it's a bit too tight, perhaps, but I can make the hole slightly bigger with the same method. This seemed to work pretty good. Let's go do the other side as well. What? Oh well. Yeah, for 36 euros. I guess I wasn't expecting that much. Maybe I can take it back to the shop, get like a refund or something like that. Because according to me, things just broke for no reason. I was just drilling a hole and it just stopped working. Just like that. Oh, finally. Now, out of curiosity, let's quickly check the brushes. I think the brushes are fine. Probably something burned up, but I'm just kind of curious. Plus, it's really easy to access. The one of the brushes is damaged. The brush wire was out. The hole inside the brush, it's damaged. I'm gonna try to make a new hole for it, and maybe I can put the wire back. Maybe that's the problem. Guess it's not dead. The brush just broke for no reason. $60mm stock. By the way, this piece weighs 69 kilos, according to the receipt. No man, that is too tight. That is too tight. I need... Dude, like... I can't get it out anymore. This is not a very good day. I think it's moving. Can't tell. No, it is moving. Okay, it's think it's going. I'm gonna clean up the chat a bit. Maybe it will go a bit better. Wow. No, that's actually a problem. Yeah. About midway through, I noticed the entire shaft was not pointing straight. So I guess the drilling was unsuccessful, or something else is off. I can't really move the shaft whatsoever because it's so tight. I mean, the entire box moves. No, I don't see any other option. I need to cut the other side open slightly and then try to get it through this hole. By the way, guys, I noticed there was this small fire in that area when I finished cutting the thing. I kind of panicked for a second there. I wasn't sure what's going on. Maybe it backfired on me or something. But after reviewing the footage, it appears that something flammable flew onto the handle, and that's what burned on it. So I don't think anything went wrong with this thing. It's just still a very scary moment. I don't know. Dude, don't get stuck on me now. We're so close. It's like you're trying to push out a really, really huge dirt. It's kind of there, but it's stuck right at the lip. Just gotta keep pushing, I guess. Liiga palju. Las olla. You know guys, with every video I make about doing some type of a project where a pin is involved, things just get tighter and tighter. I mean, you guys really get much tighter than this, where you need a giant hammer to move stuff. But anyway, I think that's enough now. I'm not gonna cut the other end off just yet. Maybe I want it to be out more. Not sure at the moment. We'll figure that bit out later. However, I need to cut this mangled piece off because I can't put any bushing on it at the moment. I'm gonna add some supportive plating to this area. Probably need to cut it from some spots in order to bend it nicely into place. Maybe cut it from there. Not entirely sure, but I think this should work. Maybe I can press it down. Press it down. Press it with my good old Soviet jack. Huh. Look at that. That was a lot easier. a box. Well, I hope that's useful. Because it took forever. It's a little supportive structure for the pin area. I'm not sure if it's even necessary, honestly, considering once I fill this with concrete, I think that concrete will just kind of lock everything together, so including the shaft. So maybe not even necessary. That it just seemed like a good idea at the time, but it's over now, so let's continue. Next up, I wanna install some type of a ring here, so that the bushing would not ride against the welds, and just like a small ring. You know, on the pipe it says 57, but it's actually 59.6 or something like that. But man, the shaft is 60.3, so I don't think it's gonna fit on the thing, and I need to lift it down just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit need to take off. I think that's all it takes. I mean, all it needs. I mean, what is... Did I add material? It's much worse. Great. Now I want some ice cream. Yeah, I'm probably too fat for ice cream. Probably am. Okay. No, I think that actually takes care of the roller part. Yeah, apart from removing the brakes, I think the roller is pretty much ready for concrete. But I'm gonna do that basically after I finish the frame for it outside somewhere. So next up I need to do, I think, the main beams plus the bushings on the sides. So let's do that next. But yeah, let's go with this. Just need to drill a massive hole in the center. Oh, by the way, the hole will be huge. Very big. 47. I'm not even sure. Maybe the hole saw will even breach the side walls. 76 millimeters meant for this pipe. Woof. Oh, look at that. The good news is that it's not gonna breach the side walls. There's still a little bit of room left over there. Maybe we should use the legendary orange drill. I'm pretty sure that's gonna explode. Almost forgot. kuradi. No mine ära, puts. Siis see tambi haamriga välja kukub iseenesest. Täitsa pekkis elu. It looks pretty straight. Not half bad. It's extremely close. I'm pretty sure it will go on with hammering, but then it needs some space for grease, right? Let's hone it down a bit. Freaking warp speed, man. That's insane. Check out that smoothness, guys. This thing is smoother than my beard. What does that even mean? Wow, that's just crazy. Look at that. I am, however, not sure how I'm gonna make this part greasable. I don't wanna compromise the pin itself by making a hole in it, but I think I don't have any other good options here. think it's gonna look good. Woo! I think a single pass is enough. I don't need to do anything else too. This should be pretty solid. Look at that crap. That is clearly not crap. But I think that's pretty good. Dude, I just love this little welder that I have.
And this caddy. Oh, there we go. Arc 151i. Now this thing is amazing, man.
3.2 millimeter rod. It's just, that thing just welds it, no problem. Also, it never has crapped out on me. I mean, it has never reached its duty cycle. Although I've been welding it for non-stop, like an hour, maybe 2 even straight. Remember the project I did with the guillotine cutter on my excavator? And when the thing was on the table, I pretty much welded for like... Well, I started welding 9 AM and finished welding like maybe 5 PM in the evening. And dude, that thing never crapped out on me, not even once. Although this handle got a bit warm, but other than that, that thing just went through it, all that welding. I can't say the same for this stupid nuclear welder. Dude, that thing is just pure junk. It was clearly not worth 300 euros because this is just garbage. 3.2 millimeter rod. Bro, that welder does not even know what that is. You basically have to crank the amps beyond 200 in order to even get a couple of sparks. It's just garbage. Plus, after about 30 minutes, the yellow light comes on and then you can't continue welding because you have reached your duty cycle. And that thing can still weld like 2.5 without any major difficulties, but 3.2 is just too much, and 4.0, don't even think about that. That's just not gonna work. I haven't really done much of 4.0 with the caddy, but I'm betting it will work. I just need to... Oh, there's another thing. Yeah, on the caddy, I'm setting the amps to like 100 when I'm doing 3.2. Maybe sometimes a bit more, like 110 basically. But if I set the same amps on that thing, it's just not gonna work. It's just constantly gonna get stuck and it's not gonna start welding whatsoever. You have to turn the amps up all the way up to the end in order to start welding. Addition to the fact, this thing only goes up to 150 amps, while that thing goes up to 200 amps. But I think in this case the numbers really don't matter because that thing on 100 amps is basically same as that thing on 300 amps. So guys, if you are looking for a really nice stick welder, then I would definitely recommend the Arc 151i because this thing is just, it's amazing, man. It's light, it's not heavy at all. You can carry it around on your back even. Yeah, it's just a very mobile and very efficient. Definitely worth that one. I would recommend. But anyway, kind of going off topic again. Let's focus on the project. What about the greasing option though? I think I have to go with the pin setup. Technically, there shouldn't be much force on this pin, right? It's just the tractor pulling it forward, so it will be having forces that way and also that way, but nothing that way or that way, basically, because all the weight will be diverted to the ground, mostly through the barrel, so the beans will only work that way.
There's something stamp on here. Look at that. 1 3 do 1. What does that mean?
No idea.
This is gonna take literally forever.
No question there. Not for you guys though. Gonna make it go fast for you.
There we go.
Makita's anti-drill bit breaking technology. The chuck lets go of the bit before the bit manages to break. That's some next level stuff, man. Okay, I think that's good. Should be pretty good. You know what I don't understand, guys? Whenever I see YouTube videos where they do threading, like I am right now, they always use a drill to thread with that thing. How does that even work? I don't understand that, because you need to carefully do this part. You can't use a drill for it, right? Unless the hole is not the right size and the threads won't be correct depth, you know. Or maybe there's just cleaning original threads. No, I guess if you're cleaning you can use a drill, but not when making new threads, right? That makes no sense. All I know is that I love ice cream. Sorry. Cherry. Now that's a nice sensation. So, be right back. I'm gonna make the second one as well, then we can continue with this project. Got to go to the loo first, though. Oh, by the way, the loo is clogged up. Quite badly. But that's not the topic of this video. Yeah, I would say the hardest part is probably finished now. Honestly, there are no hard parts with this project. It's pretty straightforward overall. But next up, just need to basically just a bunch of box tubes and nothing much else. Very nice box tubes.
Yeah, this trigger is starting to glitch out. If I fully depress it, then sometimes it doesn't work, and I have to like keep it in the middle somewhere. Same issue with the other welder. Just seems like a...
Look at that precision, bro. It's like I measured something. Look at that. It's starting to make more sense now. And let's just continue with the frame part. Next up, thinking the middle piece first, then we can do the diagonal supports. Now I have to keep this in mind. You know, when backing up with this thing, it's better to have like a longer bar. So the further that thing is away from the tractor, then the more control I have backing up with it, without it turning too much. I think it's the same setup as with the trailer, you know. But I can't confirm that. Maybe this wheel will not act the same way. I'm not sure. So I think I'm gonna make the bar itself almost the same length as I have on the log trailer. And on the log trailer, I remember I had something like 2.7 meters, which is quite a lot actually. Yeah, 2.7 exactly. I'm gonna go with this setup. This works very good. Hi. That thing is just awesome. Even if it doesn't run, it just looks so cool. Wait a minute. That thing actually runs and moves. Wow, I forgot. What a mess. Okay, so 2.7 meters. I should it there somewhere. So we're here. 2.5. 2.5. I think it's fine. Let's go with this piece, 2.5 meter. But before I weld it on that, I'm gonna install the hitch on the welding table. Okay, so as for the hitch setup, initially I figured I'm gonna use this piece. I know, right? Probably a bad idea. Now this thing is rated up to 800 kilos, but it can probably do more, like at least a grand, maybe even a bit more. But my entire setup will weigh about 1500 kilos, maybe even more than that. So this thing might just, you know, struggle a bit. Although I have several of these, I was supposed to do a project for the kids, but I never ended up doing it. So I have like 3 or 4 sets of these. I decided not to use this part. And keep also this in mind, the price of this thing is 24 euros. So I bought something beefier for this project. And this is a static hitch up to 10 tons capacity. That's the rated capacity. It can probably do like 15 at least. And you know, the price of this thing was 36 euros. So not much different from the 800 kilogram model. But I guess that one is a bit more sophisticated. I mean, this is just a block of steel with a hole in it. But it's a weld-on hitch, so I think this is a better option for my project. I just need to figure out a neat way how to mate these two together so it would look nice. I don't know, maybe weld it there or duct tape it there. I'm not sure. By the way, I had no reason to walk away just moments ago. I just did it because I think it looks cool on video. But I had nothing to do there, so I came back here. Now I have a reason to walk away.
Oh yes, mío.
It took a short eternity, but no, I think this should work. And I don't think it's gonna walk off anywhere. Should be pretty solid.
That's pretty good.
Where should we take the diagonal supports, guys? All the way? Or maybe stop them a bit sooner? I think let's go all the way.
totally empty.
By the way, I just got this amazing idea how to later turn this static compactor into a vibrating compactor. We just gotta buy one of those V12 engines. V12 diesel engines. Just mount the thing here and connect like a drive shaft to it, but the drive shaft is unbalanced. So if you spin that thing up, the entire roller was just gonna start jumping up and down. So I think that's a really good idea, and we need to do that one day. But at the moment, next up, I think we can, remove the draining wheels. I figured I'm gonna maybe use the torch on this, but I think I'm gonna just they're not fully welded, so I think we can just use the angle iron for this. How am I supposed to cut with this thing, man? That makes no sense.
Oh man. I wonder why it's so heavy, the turn. Maybe something's off. Maybe it's too tight at the pushing. Not sure. Probably not gonna even roll. Maybe after you pour the thing full of concrete, then it will, but at the moment it's pretty stuck.
I think something's rubbing, Maybe I made this area too tight. Because right now I'm pretty sure it's not gonna roll on its own, it's just gonna drag on the ground. Maybe once I fill it with concrete, then that will make, the weight will make it roll, but if it doesn't roll, then, then it's not a roller. I mean, duh, if it doesn't roll, it's not a roller, it's a dragger. Then I guess we're building a dragger. Maybe that will compact something as well. But anyway, I think there's only one thing left to add, and then at least the welding department has done its job. Currently, I'm not sure why that thing does not want to roll very well. I have to hook up the computer and check for fault codes, but we'll do that later. The last thing that I need to add is the leg, so that thing would not be sitting in dirt. I'm gonna make the same design. Just 60 by 60 box tube, and I also need a 50 by 50. But keep in mind the 60 by 60 needs to be 4 millimeters, not 5. That's not gonna work. So I just need a small piece, maybe like 15 would work. Yeah. The part of the plan. That was part of the plan. But you know, it's just a simple egg out of basically scrap. I think the only thing I need to do now is a couple of welds on the bottom side, because I'm not welded anything on the bottom, and then just put some paint on the frame. Now I'm not planning to paint the barrel itself, the paint is gonna get destroyed anyway, so that would just be a waste of paint, but the frame definitely need to paint that. But first I need to, I'm gonna weld the bottom. Maybe I should take it outside, flip it over. Probably, right?
Out of food.
Yeah, let's not forget about the name. I actually have a perfect name for this donut. Oh, sorry, I misspelled. Do not use. It's what I was supposed to spell. I know it's still misspelled, but I'm sure you get the picture. Dude, this garbage, this freaking garbage right here, it's the worst cut-off disc in the universe. Not even on planet Earth, in the universe. I mean, what was that? Like 15 seconds of cutting and the disc just disappeared. Plus, it diverts absolutely everywhere except going on a straight line. This is such garbage. I hate it so much. I mean, I had like 100 of these, and I'm so happy that I think I have like less than 10 left now. I'm never gonna get this garbage again. This is just pointless. I've used others as well, and there is no comparison. I just got them for free, but they're garbage.
No, you can't see anything. It's smoky in here. Very crusty as well. Crusty grab. The shaft looks nice though.
Okay. I think got the barrel, mixing station set up. It still works. What? Yeah, I'm baffled. Oh, by the way, sand as well. H2O, missing that. Dude, look at this donkey. What? This rules, by the way. Piss off, snowdrop. Dude, transporting water sucks. Okay, so we got water, sand, machine, steam, roller, check also. Just need some cement now. I have some left over from last year's shit build. It's kinda expired, but it should still work. At least I backed it nicely. Should be okay. Yeah, luckily the sand is close by. Can't get any closer than this. right on top of it. Little critter. No museum pieces required. I think I need to make it a bit more watery, so it will flow better. Strength is not a important factor here, right? I just need to fill the void. I just need to fill the void. Bloody hell. Already full. I kinda started to like this crap. Watery mix, guys. It's very good at the start, but utterly sucks in end. It's already pretty full actually. Basically from here I thought it's gonna be more, but guess not. I'm not sure if I can fill it completely though, it's just kind of leaking out. Maybe I need to wait a moment. Yeah, I'm gonna wait a bit. Maybe I can squeeze a bit more in there once the water drains away some. I'm gonna go quickly pee a bit. Be right back. Yeah, just like I thought. I don't want any air pockets in this thing. I mean, once you start rolling and drive over rocks and stuff, then those rocks can actually push the steel in, right? But I don't think I can eliminate it like all, unless I had like a vibrator. I think this is fine. No vibrator required. Okay, well, I'm gonna check back on it maybe in like 3 or 4 hours, but this probably needs to cure for a really long time. I'm guessing at least like a couple of weeks minimal before I try to stroll out of here. So see you in a couple of weeks, I guess. Ah, man. What's going on? I think it has marinated enough. It hasn't been several weeks, not even one actually. I think I'm on day 4 at the moment. But honestly, I just got tired of waiting. So I'm gonna go weld this thing shut and see We'll see how fast this thing rolls down the cliff. If I had any cliffs. You know, technically, because that hitch is rated for 10 tons, theoretically I can hook it up behind Joseph as well. It should fit, I think. Oh, look at that. Neato.
Stupid wind is blowing my methane away. Not cool. Structural wilt, this.
Gonna hold the donut in the donut shape. It's very important. You know how the saying goes, a little bit of paint will turn me into a professional welder. Or something like that. Aku tühi. Paar puhta on. Midagi kuhugi susiseb, ju siis midagi läheb pohhui. But anyway guys, that's the finished product. I think it came out yeah. No comment. I did a bit of rolling here. We'll definitely come back something because well, actually this whole area is pretty good at the moment. Well, at least this side is. Something went wrong there. But I think it will work, you know, and it will help out a bit to compact the gravel down. Here I don't think I need any more compacting because it's been well, basically it's almost been a year now, and even the wet area, this area was very soft and wet. Even this area is solid at the moment. You know, with time gravel will, with the rain and machinery on it, it will compact itself down. So that's not really a problem. But immediately after laying gravel down on a road, then that's very mushy, and the compactor would be very helpful in that case. As luck behold, though, I just recently finished my forest mess, so let's go check that out. Little comparison, by the way, just good solid gravel surface. By the way, the backyard area is extremely solid. I absolutely love it. Can't even compare it to what I had here last year. It's so much better. But just take note of that, okay? But you know, this is the road I finished just yesterday, actually, and check it out. Just freshly laid down gravel. It's very mushy. Apart from here, which I have already used a couple of times. So, but generally, it's just very mushy, you know. Will definitely benefit from compacting this down, and hopefully my little do not use roller will do the job, at least to some degree. It would be a lot better if it was, you know, vibrating as well, but maybe that's like an upgrade we can do in the future. I'm not really sure how to achieve that on that thing at the moment, but I'm sure we can figure something out. I mean, let's try to compact this down somewhat. Just drive through it a couple of million times. Hopefully this effort was worth it. Flat road, look at that. It's almost like I-95. Only 10 times better. So amazing. Dude, the paint is already gone. Look at that. Basically the paint is almost gone. Look at that. Wow, that's pretty cool. A lot of crap getting stuck to it though. Maybe I should add some scrapers to one side. What about mud though? Now, compacting down mud is probably pointless, but maybe I can flatten it, you know, just like I did here. I am unsure about that. It's probably a bad idea, but I do have this little mess here that you know, I would like to flatten some, and the only option right now I see is just kind of raking it down, you know, by hand. No, it's doable. It's loose topsoil, so just a bit of raking, maybe not that big of a deal, but maybe the roller will do that as well. I don't know. Let's try. Dude, it's not working. It's more like sliding, not rolling in mud. I need more horsepower, basically. Then I can push it behind me. Maybe Joseph, you know. Well, that thing definitely has the horsepower, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. Not entirely sure at the moment. But let's try it anyway. I'm curious. Guys, I've been trying for like 30 minutes now, and it just doesn't start. Feels like it's not getting fuel, but I'm pretty sure it is. Maybe no spark. Actually, it did explode like 3 or 4 times, so but then nothing again. I'm not really sure what the issue might be. Maybe the carburetor is clogged up somewhere. Maybe that. There are a couple of things I can do though. Maybe we can actually get this going. This being a gasoline engine, it basically needs 3 things in order to run: fuel, air, and compression. Do tell me if I'm missing something. We should definitely have air now. What about fuel though? Well, we have fuel definitely, and I also forgot to say spark. Fuel, air, spark, and compression. I think that's it. So we got air, we got fuel. I assume we have compression because the thing was running fine yesterday. Can't lose that overnight. Spark. Now, one easy way to test that is just take the spark plug out. Anyway, just hook up the spark plug, and then crank the engine while touching that part against the engine. Just be careful, you might get shocked as well. It's not pleasant, by the way. Kinda sucks. Dipstick exploded, but dude, this has good spark. This wire has melted some, but it shouldn't really be a problem. It's a single wire, nothing too complex. But dude, it looks like this spark plug is kind of faulty. It's kind of sparking, but then it's not sparking anymore. Gonna clean that up to get better connection, and I think that's fine. I think the spark plug is just faulty. Gonna go look, maybe I have something to put here. I did find something. Looks like the same thing. The only difference is that this one was not manufactured in the Gulag. Some Champion. Has to be good then, right? I'm cool. I am awesome. Not gonna say anything. What? Dude, that was just cough. I have a cold. Get over it. That's a good spark. What? Oh, it's sparking again. Mr. Champion though is not working. Maybe it requires a program to be installed on it. Software update or something like that. Wanna bet it's gonna start now? Was a little bit wider then and heavier, then I could hide Joseph's tracks with the thing, right? That would be really great. stupidest thing I've ever done. Definitely. But I'm gonna go clean up with the blades. This actually made it much worse. The next time, take the freaking hint, okay? Do not use. Now Joseph does a pretty good job flattening the mountains, but making like a perfect finish is just not happening with that thing. Maybe like an excavator with a rake on it, perhaps. It has to be an excavator with tracks, preferably wide tracks, right? Because you can't bring bobcat or tractor here, they will just sink. So it has to be an excavator with some type of attachment. I'm guessing a rake, perhaps. Do like a rough finish, like I've done right now with Joseph, and then go over it with a rake on an excavator, perhaps. Maybe we should build one of those rakes for my Yamaha. What do you guys think about that? I'm kind of in the building business lately, I don't know. Building all sorts of things. But about this thing now. And personally, I think it's great. At least on the gravel it was pretty good. But other than that, you can really compact dirt with it. That's for sure. Not even behind a bulldozer. But I think it was worth it. It was fun building it, at least. Got to play around with the lathe and bunch of welding. Now I'm gonna think about it. Maybe I'm gonna install some scraper setup on the barrel itself. But I'm not gonna prioritize this at the moment. I have other things to do. If you guys have some good ideas, then throw them down in the description. I mean comment section. As for this one though, I'm gonna wrap it up now. Let's take a quick look from upstairs. Look at that. Supermom is gonna be super excited. Look at that. Such a mess. And we still have a couple of weeks until Supermom arrives, so I'm gonna throw some seed down there as well. Maybe it will green up. Yeah, right. Such a mess. Such a mess. Oh, bye. Bye, by the way.